As you know, this mandate of the Special Rapporteur on the right of freedom of assembly and right to freedom of association is a new mandate that was created in September 2010. I am the first Special Rapporteur for this mandate, having started in May this year. So I'm still learning the ropes and still moving and understanding the scope of this mandate. Generally, my view is to see this mandate as two separate but linked rights that I'm dealing with. One is the right to peaceful assembly, and the other is the right of association. These are two different rights, often linked together, and they have a linkage together. However, it is important as I carry out and as I discharge my duties that I make sure I cover both sides of the mandate. It is critical at this point because both of these rights are under threat. In terms of right of association, we have seen more and more that states are beginning to reduce the space available for civil society and other entities that are non-state actors. We need to interrogate this, we need to analyze this and make sure we can put forward a case for the right of peaceful association to continue unhindered. The other side of it is the right to peaceful assembly, which we have seen illustrated very, very vividly this year with the Arab Spring. And this is a fundamental right that we will be going through and understanding and interrogating and trying to put forward the way forward for it so that the world can enjoy this right to peaceful assembly. Now, in my view, as we look at the current trends across the world, we are seeing that the space for civil society is increasingly under threat. We must stop that threat. We must counter that threat, but we must do it in a manner that gives voice to the right of peaceful assembly and association, in a manner that respects us and gives us human dignity. To my mind, the right of peaceful assembly and association are deep rights for the enjoyment of democracy. You cannot have a democratic society without the right to assemble and the right to associate. And it's how we do those assemblies and how we do those associations that is important and is critical. And that is where I will be focusing on. Now, my priorities over the next 3 years for the term of this mandate is essentially, first of all, to have regional consultations and consultations broadly, which is why I would have liked to be with you in Montreal today. Unfortunately, I cannot be there, but I hope to get the report of the conference and the assembly you're having, and that will inform me as I make my first report to the Human Rights Council in June of next year. And this consultation is geared first and foremost towards finding the best practices. Now, this is part of the mandate, the resolution that created the mandate. It is demanded of me to present a report that looks at best practices of right of freedom of assembly and of association, and that I will do. But as I look at best practices, certainly I will also look at worst practices. So I think it's important we put them together side by side so we can understand what is right, what is good, and what is not good. I think that is my priority over time. Generally, as I go through the 3 years, I think it will be important to come up with some guidelines of some soft law, if you wish, that looks at these two rights and tries to guide the international community and at both international level and national level as to how we can enjoy these rights better. That can be used in courts, can be used in papers, can be used in ways to further give strength to civil society as they enjoy this. Now, I come from civil society, and so my immediate and close partner will have to be civil society. Please see me as your tool. See me as a way to amplify your views and your issues out at the international level. I want to work closely with you. I need your help. I need in so many ways. Even though I am doing this as an independent expert, as you know, the UN system does not provide sufficient resources. So whatever you can provide intellectually, whatever you can provide economically, whatever you can provide morally, whatever you can provide financially will be useful for me. But I think it's important that as I do this, that I also have good partners within the state sector. And that's something as well that I am building and have begun to work on, so that I can be able to have partnerships partnerships both with civil society and the states so that we can push this agenda forward. I think this is a great time for us at the level of these two rights, because it has become the big issue for the world today. How do we as citizens of each country and of the world assemble? How do we push our views? How do we propagate our views and values in a manner that is peaceful and respectful? At the same time, how do we associate better? Clearly, the state, as we know it, is undergoing fundamental changes, and fundamental influences are affecting it. But the one critical ingredient remains the role of civil society, and that is something we must work together with, we must work together on, and work to enhance and increase. Certainly, there are issues around state-sponsored civil society. That's the right of states to do that, and that's fine. But it's how the state works with them and uses them. If they exclude legitimate, independent civil society, then I think we have a problem. But I think for us, we have to be able to look at it and say, this is the marketplace, if you wish, of ideas. We want to push things forward. I am here for you to use. Please work with me. I look forward to working with you now and in the future. And I hope that at the end of this mandate, we will have moved the agenda for the respect of the right of assembly and the respect of the right of association further than it has been before.